A year ago, I packed my bags, I jumped on a plane from Kathmandu to Lukla, and I was finally going to start my 13-day trek to Everest Base Camp. This was going to be a dream come true for me, and after landing at the steepest airport in the world, I was off. Day number 1. Going against common advice, I was going to do the trek solo, without a guide or a porter. I will leave my packing list and my itinerary below if you're interested. The little Nepali I had picked up in my travels before was proving useful, and I loved seeing all the pack animals and yaks. I got to cross my first hanging bridge, and it was incredible to see the sights that I could see on my very first day.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
After just a 2-hour walk, which was mostly downhill, I arrived in Phak Ting where I stopped for lunch. I met a British guy called Andy, and together we walked up to a nearby monastery. This shrine is for Padmasambhava, who brought Buddhism to Tibet.
Day 2.
On day 2, I was going to gain 800 meters in elevation and master the feared walk up to Namche Bazaar. Namche is the highest town in the world and was going to be my last stop to stock up on any climbing or snack equipment. First, I stopped in Monjo to get my park permit and have some lunch. It was starting to feel very real, and there was no going back now. I still hadn't met any other independent travelers, and most were traveling with a pre-booked guide. Between enjoying the wildlife, I was far from lonely though, because I got to speak to everyone on the road. And here it was, the dreaded long bridge before Namche, which was going to lead me through a forest all the way up.
I came from and where I'm going. Halfway up Namche. I want to die. Why am I doing this? I've been walking up for 3 hours now. Steep, steep, steep. Steepest thing I've ever walked up on. And I'm walking so slowly. So slowly. But at least I can walk without having to stop, so I don't get cold. Only 150 meters to go. Up that is. I think that's 2 kilometers lengthwise. Alright.
And finally I was there.
I'm not gonna walk anywhere today. I made it to Namche. I somehow made it to Namche. Found a nice little lodge. Let me show you. I'm so tired. Apparently the walk up is the hardest part of the EBC trek. But I think the walk to Teng Boch in 2 days is also going to be super steep and long. Feel good? Feel a little bit like crying, not gonna lie. I want to thank Kanye and Panic at the Disco and Eminem for getting me through this. So yeah, it's really hard. It was so hard. It was so hard. Oh my god, it's cold. I think it's -2 over here, but the wind is sharp. It's sharp wind. I had a hot shower. I've stretched. I've read up on what to do in Namche tomorrow, since I'm having a acclimatization day. We're now at 3,880 meters. I think that's 1,000 meters higher than Lukla. And I'm cold. So I'll nap until dinner, and then we'll see. We'll see what we'll do tomorrow. Alright.
After some momo for dinner, off it was into well-deserved sleep.
It's 2 o'clock now on my acclimatization day. It's a beautiful sunny day in Namche. The prayer flags are moving in the wind. yaks and horses and goats that I can hear from my room. I've had some lovely veg momos, which are the national dish of Nepal. This is the biggest city on the EBC trek, and full of souvenir shops and hotels, lodges, restaurants. So I guess I should go explore them instead of feeling sad for myself, right? Alright. Do you like my massive down jacket that I've rented? I like it. I like it very much. It keeps me warm.
I actually spent the rest of day 3 walking around Namche, exploring the cafes, watching mountaineering films and reading a book. The headache that I had due to the heights was gone on day 4, and I walked up to Sihanoukville, the local airport, for some acclimatization.
It's the 4th day of my trek. I'm doing a hike up to Kunde Kumju from Namche. I think that's 500 meters of elevation, and I'm gaining to make my body cope better with the altitude, because I can feel it. I can feel nauseous and I have a headache. I just saw a French woman crying hysterically because her altitude sickness is forcing her to come back down. Some travelers just said that Gorakshep is a death zone at the moment and that people died there of cold. Very aware of my mortality. But I should be fine, right? We'll be fine. Yeah, it's been following us for like 45 minutes now. All the way down. Day 5.
Leaving the mighty Khumbu River and Namche behind me, I was on my way to Deboch, which was a good 400 meters above Namche at 3,820 meters. On the advice of some German trekkers I met, I was going to start my Diamox, which helps with the altitude sickness, because I had a steady headache, a lack of appetite, and it did help me to feel better. The landscape became increasingly alien, the vegetation around me was dry and brown, and the wind was blowing into my face. In Namche, I had sent some postcards to my friends and family, telling them about my adventures and how much I was enjoying this trek, from what must be the highest post office in the world. After a steep walk up, I made it to the Tengboch Monastery, which has the largest gompa in the Khumbu region of Nepal, and I was lucky enough to sit in for a puja.
It's actually snowing. It's actually snowing. I've seen ice on the way here as well. In the monastery in Tengboche, you're not allowed to film inside, but there was a puja going on and it was beautiful.
Wow. Even though I was traveling alone, I kept finding myself bumping back into the same travelers when I was having lunch or getting into the hostels at night. Cuddled up next to the heater and sipping on our ginger, lemon and honey tea, we would compare our days and dream of warmer ones. On day 6, I was going to gain around 600 meters in a 13-kilometer trek from Deboch to Dingboch. Crossing bridges, fields and more bridges, I got closer to my goal step by step. Breathing was noticeably harder at this point, and I could really feel the effort it took out of me. I was going to spend 2 days in Dingboch. Apart from a short walk down to Chukmung, I spent the rest of the second day talking to other travelers and reading a Harry Potter book that I found. This is just part 1 of my journey to Everest Base Camp, and I was 3 days away from reaching that goal. There are many more adventures ahead of me, like nearly having to be airlifted down, trekking in the dark. But to find out more, join me next time.